Um, there's been a lot of things throughout the week, as in releases of Brian's Notebook. There has been releases of uh, things that are happening in the Brian Laundrie case versus Petito family. See, okay, everything you kind of have to um happened, how it happened, timeline, and stuff like that. So let's get into um, WFLA, which is you know and ran by JB Reports, JB Bruno, and Brian Epton and stuff like that. And pretty much, I've got to say, things versus on the Notebook. Well, I'm not going to read it because so many people have read it already. My thoughts about the whole entire Notebook would have to be, obviously there's Brian starts it as a love letter, and well, as a love letter to Gabby, and I don't know what the hell he's thinking when he's writing the first part of this, because honestly, it's just like, are you crazy? Are you like, I mean, what is going through your head and stuff like that? And like, I mean, going through his head is he probably just, killed Gabby. A lot of stuff is happening. Um, a lot of things are being processed at the moment. Throughout the situation, you have him confessing that basically, obviously, his parents knew about this. Honestly, if you sit there and read the whole entire thing, go to WFLA and read the whole entire thing, and yet you will see all the notes and all everything. And basically, I just think it's kind of just really messed up. Um, Everything has came out. Now, people want to talk about the whole entire, why did the Laundrie's lawyer, um, Mr. Baldino, why did he release this couple days ago? Basically, I think it was because the whole entire thing came out, I mean, about Roe versus, stuff like that. So basically, this was to kind of push it in between there and not make it so noticeable. But Stephen Berlino should have known better, just because um, a lot of, I mean, this case is so big. It's a high impacting case. It's a high profile case. A lot of people have had their time invested into it. A lot of people can't sleep because of it. A lot of people are upset over it. And I totally understand that. And I totally get it too. And just because, I mean, I can only imagine what the family's going through of both parties. And, just because Brian Laundrie's parents are actually hiding the fact that, you know, um, that they're still, I mean, that they have a lot to hide. And I said, you have to look at everything with this and stuff and take it into a grain of salt and be like, okay, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking would happen at that. So basically, since a lot of things have happened and since a lot of things have played out, well, there you go. Those are my thoughts. And basically, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. The Notebook. The Notebook is still big, people are going over it. There are people from WFLA that are going into it and stuff like that. There are people that are still making videos about it, such as I am. And you have to look at, like I said, of this. You have to look at conspiracy theories. You have to, um, look at everything that's been talked about this case. You have to look about. You have to think about, like, okay, so basically, um, this is what's happening and stuff like that, and basically, this is what's being said. And so basically the whole thing about this is that I think that Stephen Berlino is, just he's just protecting his clients, and he's trying to cover this up. And so since we've had the notebook come out with Brian's notes, which is really weird. And, just, you know, overall, I just think that pretty much that, you know, that, uh, that, overall, since a lot is being explained here, that you have to look at everything and the whole outline of it all. See, I think that out of this whole entire thing, that Steven Steven has been covering up quite a bit and stuff along with the parents. And that everybody knows that, before this all came out, that Brian did it. And even then, when they were looking for Gabby, people like me were making guesses like, "Oh my gosh, I mean, this is all coming out. Brian did kill Gabby." And then, um, you know, Brian Epton like went to the creek himself, and he just a few days ago, and he started where the van was parked at. Nobody really knows where the van was really parked at. Um, but if you look at the video, where you have the what is it? Uh, the video of the couple driving and stuff like that through and stuff like that, you could see where the van is parked at, but maybe Brian moved it and stuff. There was a lot. And then you have Brian saying, "Oh, by the way, guess what? I couldn't really carry her. She had a big bump on her head, and but basically, she was freezing." Well, anybody would think about, like, okay, get this girl back to the van, let her get on her way, let her do her thing and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's just common sense. I have to think that it had to do with the day before, where they had lot issues. The timeline. Okay, so Brian takes her. They meet up after the whole out of okay. All right, no. Let me rephrase that. Sorry. Okay. So they stays in a hotel, or and then Gabby stays in the van. They meet up the next day, and they decide, oh hey, um, blah 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 blah. Continue driving. They go to this park. And honestly, since they go to this park, a lot starts to unfold. So Brian and Gabby go on this hike. Why in the hell were they going to hike for, anyways? Why? Why of all things? Why would they go on a hike in the nighttime for? Like when it's dark, when it's cold, stuff like that. Maybe she was trying to run away from him. Maybe they had another serious fight that we didn't know about. Maybe that they're on the timeline, that obviously that there's a lot that have. And so basically, you got to think about it, that um, there they could have had a fight, I said, and then Gabby tried to run away. Maybe they were gonna break up with each other that night. We don't know. But and then Brian says in his notes that he releases that they find that Gabby basically was had a bump on her head. So I don't think she had a full bump on her head. To be honest with you, maybe she did, maybe she didn't. We don't know and stuff like that because the report says um, strangulation and everything. And so I just think that honestly that you know that Brian knew that Gabby was going to leave her, and so I've been putting a lot of things into my head and thinking about the timeline, thinking about this and that, and it's just like seriously, that's serious. You really have to sit there and think about notes that, and this looks like that honestly that what this I mean like everybody knows that this doesn't look like it was written by Brian Laundrie. I'm sorry to say. I think the parent, well, everybody knows, it has to be proved in the law when they go to court. I hope they go to court over this, and I hope the Petitos fight like crazy and unleash and just let everything out on their deck of cards out onto the table. And I hope that um, that basically um, that everything is set onto the table. Everybody's thoughts. There's probably things that are gonna be not in it, but what I'm saying is that I think that how can I put this? That 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 those laundries more than what they're saying, and it's okay and all. And I think that basically that it's not acceptable. And I think, a lot of people out there think that Brian Laundrie is still even alive. I mean, you could think of this as a conspiracy theorist, but what if they did? What if they did take DNA out there, and what if they did pretty much, um, you know, take like because the day before the laundries were out there, and then they found his body. So pretty much, since they, found his body, well, basically, that's when they will find not body, but finding parts of his body, stuff like that. What if, you know, and all said and done, what if Brian Laundrie is still alive? I don't think he's dead because basically what they could have done was they could have taken DNA from Brian, like blood, as in using something such as um, a syringe, put blood all over it, or his hair, or something, wiping his sweat all over the body parts, and then bada bing, bada boom, he escaped. This guy had a lot of time to get away and stuff like that. And what if it was a body part of somebody that they found inside the Carlton Reserve? I mean, what if it was? You have to think outside the box a little bit, and you have to think about, okay, so did this really happen? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? And all thoughts said, I think that Brian's parent um, did did help him out with that. And then there's another theory that what if Brian um, you know the getaway. Where do you think he's at? Do you think he's in another country? Who knows? Maybe he is in another country. We don't know. But I have been covering this case too as well. And I'm not going to on this case just because there is a lot that is coming out and there's a lot that's being said about this case. Um, you know, you have to think outside the box a little bit and you have, wow, did this really truly and stuff. I've even thought about taking my drone and going to the Carlton Reserve and flying a little bit, or even where they found Gabby's, you know, just to show everybody, um, like as in like how far it was from the van to, you know, to where they found Gabby's body at, stuff like that. Because I've been really doing my homework, and I will say that who knows, maybe that maybe that would really help because Brian Epton went out there before and he did share pretty much, I mean, like how far it was from stuff like that. He truly really did. And um it's it's just mind-blowing still. I mean, on how far, I mean, how short of a distance it was from the van where they assume that it was at to this to where they found Gabby's body at. So, like I said, there's Brian Epton going out, and they're kind of seeing the distance and seeing how deep the water is, and pretty much, I just think that overall, that Brian, you know, there had to be some sort of thing behind it because they must have talked that night before, and I have to say that, honestly, it all just makes so much sense to where um Brian probably figured out, oh, she's gonna leave me, so this is my only chance. If she's gonna leave me and have a good life or whatever, then I'm gonna be a loser when I go back. And so as time escalated on, well, Brian left Gabby's body behind for a couple weeks, and after that, um, the parent during the camping trip, I think that Brian knew. I think Brian's family knew about this, and so since Brian's family knew about this, they got in a big camping trip and they got in a big meeting and bada bing, bada boom. So there you go on that. So after that, they go back. I mean, Brian goes back, gets the van, and Brian's told to bring home the van. And the timeline, he's stopping by like the gas station using her Capital One credit card, and after using the Capital One credit card, he's using gas up to get home, clean the van out. He cleans the van out. After he cleans out the van, basically, um, after he's done with the van, he basically they it they take it away and all this, and meanwhile he escapes, go to the Carlton Reserve, and after he goes to the Carlton Reserve, who would in their right mind, who are these parents to let him go and do this crap? Seriously, and help this guy out. Seriously, there's a consequence for everything. And they just knew. The family did know. And I don't know how much you want to argue against that, how much people want to argue against that. It's true. They knew and stuff like that. And so, honestly, after that, you know, everything happens with Brian. Brian, commits suicide. I don't think he really committed suicide. Like I said, that is still out there, and I think that they, somehow, I think it is possible that to think about this theory, he did have, maybe somebody did do surgery on him, and then maybe they offed him, the whoever it was, like a plastic surgeon. Okay, think about that. They offed the plastic surgeon after Brian Laundrie got plastic surgery. Who knows? Maybe they did. What do you think? I mean, what are your thoughts about this out there? I mean, do you think that happened? Um, there is a lot of conclusions to cover on this. Um, so, since evidence is coming out, where's the gun? And where's Gabby's phone? That's stuff to really think about. Where's Gabby's phone? Do they have it in evidence? Have they said anything about the phone? Have they said really anything about the gun? No, they have not really said anything about the gun, phone. Um, they have other stuff in evidence we don't know. And then you find out that there is other evidence out there, such as a digital copy to this, that may be on a tablet, that may be on a computer, that may be handwritten. We don't know. Maybe there's a recording of it. Maybe Brian did a recording of it of some sort. We're going to have to find out. But these are my thoughts and stuff as I continue to talk about this a lot more. JB Bruno, Brian Epton have done a really good job on this, covering this on WFLA. The media is just as shocked as everybody else is. I am in shock, but I will say that basically this is what's happening and stuff like that. So more to come on this. And I thank you guys for tuning in, and more to come. So that's all I have to share right now, and that's all I want to say. And give your thoughts down on the comment section down below of what are your thoughts about what's happening? What are your theories? Yeah. Anyways, that's what I have to say. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and bye for now.